Hi everybody, welcome. It's Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I'm so glad you're joining me. You've just got my hands tonight. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Little bit of business, as we always have at the beginning of this. I appreciate if you can share my video on your Facebook feed. So just hit share and then comment down in the comments, and your name will be in a drawing for the chance to possibly win the card I make tonight. Last week I made these cards, and for everybody that shared and commented that they shared, I put their name in a drawing. And Rebecca Sanders, I drew your name. So I'll be getting these cards out to you very, very soon. This used the Countryside Corners. I think that's what it was called, Countryside Corners dies. They're a little interesting to work with, but I think there's a lot of possibilities. You just got to be creative. But anyway, I'll leave those out there now. If you can't share, I understand. Would you give my video some hearts? Facebook likes the hearts better than the thumbs up, so if you'd give me some hearts, I'd appreciate it. It helps it be seen better on my algorithm. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and then hit that blue bell and you will be notified of when I upload a new video, which is most every Monday evening. So tonight we are going to do a celebration. I thought that I would use the Beautiful Balloons bundle. It's this stamp set and these dies, and we'd make this fun card. And really it can be any color combination you want, okay? So I don't know, these were the colors that kind of jumped out at me. And then I realized they are actually University of Michigan colors. So anyway, this would be a good card then for maybe somebody who is graduating from the University of Michigan. So, if you've got a college graduate or a high school graduate, I know we're probably looking at next year, do it in their school colors. Or if it's for a birthday, do it in their favorite two colors. But we're going to do another one here in the blue and the yellow. I love this bundle. I think there's so many possibilities here. And there's some of these dies I haven't even used yet. This one I really like because when you use it at the edge of your paper, it makes it like, not ruffled, but it's like cut. All these little lines here. Cut your paper out, and then you have a little fringe. That's the word I'm looking for, some fringe. Okay, so I'm going to warn you tonight. There's a lot of these stamps I'm using two colors on, so there'll be a bit of cleaning in between. Okay. So, first things first. These colors are Blueberry Bushel and Daffodil Delight. But really, any two colors that you like would most likely go together. So let's get this started. I'm going to fold my base in half and fold that crease with the bone folder. Okay, we will set that off to the side for now. We're going to start with some stamping. Now this is a dark base, so we're going to put a piece on the inside. And you know what, we might just start out, I don't know if we're going to start with that one. You know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to start out with we're going to start with the small panel on the front, this one right here, and start with our words. Now I took a piece of cardstock. This is just a piece of retired pear pizzazz, and I cut out this bloom. And what this does is it serves as a template to help me know where to place this. And you know what I'm going to do? I didn't do this when I was working on it, but I am going to do it now. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of adhesive on there and put it right in the center, and this will help me know, and it'll help the balloon stay in place, okay? And I'm going to suggest you start with your words. And I'll tell you why. My first go around with this card, I didn't. I started with all of the balloons around the outside, and then when I went to put the words on, I didn't like the placement. I didn't like that this ran into that. So start with your words and is my suggestion, okay? So I'm going to start out with Blueberry Bushel, okay? I'm going to ink this up. Now my ink pads are very juicy. I found that out when I was stamping it. And then just put it right around your balloon template there. Again, these are photopolymer stamps, so I'm using my mat underneath so that I get a good impression, and there we go. That's a little heavy, but I think it's okay. When we get all the other stuff on, I don't think anybody's gonna realize it. Okay, let's pull out the Daffodil Delight first, and I will do the balloons that are around this, around the outside, okay? So, is that yep, that's my right coat, that's the correct color balloon. And this balloon, there's no right or wrong, but it definitely was easier when I had the words on first. Excuse me here. Turn this sideways. And yes, you are stamping off the sides, so you want a piece of paper. These foam mats are great to give you a good stamped impression, but they do pick up the ink, and they'll transfer it to your, to other things. So that's why I like to use a piece of scrap paper when I'm stamping off the side. All of a sudden I have a tickle. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I did. Excuse me here, just a minute. Okay, now I'm going to put some of the strings on the balloons. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And, even if I'd torn that paper a little bit, taken that off, it wouldn't have made any difference because it'll be covered up with my big balloon, okay? So, I do want to show you. Here, let's see. I think, yeah, on this one I can do it. But I don't want, when I did my strings, I didn't want the blue strings going over the words, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute here. I think that works out there. Okay, and while that's out, I'm going to get my other piece. I'm going to stamp my large balloon that's going to go here. One thing that I like about the photopolymer stamps is I can look through them and make sure that they are evenly inked. Excuse me. There we go. Again, my ink pad is a little bit juicy, more juicy than it should be. Okay, I think I'm done with this color, but I need to clean my stamp. That's the string, because I'll be using it on the blue balloons too. Okay, we're going to put this one back. Just flip it over and we're going to do the blue balloons in Blueberry Bushel. I'm so glad they brought this color back. It is such a fun color. Okay, so I'm going to put some of these balloons around. Whoops. There we go. Who doesn't like balloons, huh? They're so festive. And my placement is not exactly the same on this card as it was on the other one, but that's okay. And before we put this away, I'm going to stamp on, on this inside panel. I decorated the inside. I'm very bad at doing that. I don't usually do that. So I was quite pleased with myself that I did. So I think that what did I do here? I did the balloon with the string. Okay, that one I'm done with. And where is my string here? And as long as I have the inside here, I'm going to stamp the confetti. And I'm kind of turning my stamp so it's not in the exact same spot. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to do the strings and the confetti on this one. Okay, let me do this here. Like I said, kind of in the same spots. Doing a card like this never turns out the same. I think I'm going to do a little bit right over here. That's good. I'm going to stop with that. Sometimes get going and it's more than I needed. Okay, I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper and I'll tell you why. My balloon string here, these, I don't want them to run into the blue words and kind of muck up how my words look. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to kind of put my piece of paper there. That one didn't come out quite like I wanted it to, but let's do this one and see. Let's see, this one will look a little bit better. There we go. Now you get what I'm talking about. I'm so sorry that I'm coughing. Let's try to mix up the directions that my strings are going. There we go. Cute. I like that. Now something you may not be able to see on my card. I don't know if you can see it or not. I put some Wink of Stella on this balloon and the one on the inside. So I'm going to do that right now. Now you got to be careful because you can smear your ink. So you want to use a light touch. Make sure the ink is dry. And stay within the lines, so to speak. But it'll just put a little bit of glimmer on it. I'll put it on this one too. I didn't put it everywhere. And this was instead of putting any kind of other shiny embellishment or ribbon or anything on. I don't know if you can see it now or not. There, you can kind of see it on there. Yeah. I think the recipient will be able to see it. It just doesn't come up great on camera. Okay. We're still not going to be done stamping, but we are going to cut out our balloon. Okay. My mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You guys know I love this for on the go. Okay, I've got all these dies. I'm going to see if this one fits on here. You know what? It does. So this was perfect if you have the mini. This is a good stamp and die set. Or this die set will be compatible. Okay. Now this die doesn't fit as tight around this balloon, around this stamp as I wish it did. There's a little bit, I wish there was less white around the outside. If I was putting this on a dark piece of a darker background, I'll show you what I mean in a minute, I might actually trim up around the outside. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, there we go. see that border around the edge? Because I'm going to put it on white, it doesn't really show up. But if I was going to put it on blue, it does. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of like a little less of that showing. So, but for this, it looks good. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the little string for this. So let me clean this stamp. Let me get my chamois again. I love my chamois. I usually just rinse it off in the, kitchen sink to get the extra ink out. But sometimes, how did I stamp that? Yeah, I guess I stamped it on here like this. Every so often I need to throw it in the wash machine, so I wash it with something that I know is not going to fade or anything like that. I might wash it with some old, blue jeans that have been worn or washed a lot of times, or some dark towels, and it comes out so nice. Okay, I'm just going to kind of guess where this is going to go, right about here. Okay, and then we will line up our balloon. Get my dimensionals here. Looks like I was on the edge of my paper there, and it's kind of a flat edge, but again, once I get it on that paper, it's not going to show with the white background. Come on. Okay. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers, and I like doing this because then my fingers are out of the way, so I can get a good look at how to place something. Okay, and something I realized I didn't do, this piece of paper right here is 4.5 by 3.25, okay? And I'm going to mount it on a piece of cardstock that's 4 3/4 by 3.5, okay? Let's put that on here. Okay, there we go. There's that. And I might as well put the insert into while I'm here, and that'll be done. Just have to do a couple more things and we will be done. If you need any, Stampin' Up, if you need any products or anything, there's my website, there's my current host code. Yay, I appreciate that when you use that. Okay, so now I have another piece. It's the same size as the insert I just put in. It's 5 1/4 by 4. And this is going to be kind of like my designer series paper. Okay? In this stamp set is this, it looks like crepe paper that's twisted. And it does, I'm going to show you here. It does tend to be curved, okay? But the nice thing about photopolymer is you can straighten them out if they're straight, or if they're curved. If they're straight and you want them curved, you can do that too. See, I've got some, I can make them a lot of, I've got some play with it, so to speak. So, yes, I know this looks like overkill for this block, using this big block, but the other one isn't long enough if I have this straight. So, see, I'll show you. This is the F block, and this is the I block, and it's not long enough if I have it straight, although it might be if I did it corner to corner, but it was pretty tight, so I just decided to use the largest block that they make. And we are going to use our make this kind of into our designer series paper, so to speak, okay? So I am going to start, because my base is blue and my mat is blue, I wanted the yellow, the Daffodil Delight, to show over here on the side. So I am actually going to try to move it even closer to the side of this piece of cardstock, okay? So normally it's best on a big block like this to ink it up like that, okay? And I'm being really careful. I'm trying not, it's very easy to get ink on either side with a small stamp on a large block. But as you can see now, there we go. Perfect. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's crepe paper. Or it's supposed to be crepe paper. So, again, I've got my stamp on the block. I'm going to, it looks like it's inked up well. The other way is if you have a Stamparatus or some other type of stamp positioner, you could do this that way too. I was sad that Stampin' Up! Discontinued it, but I still have mine, and if you have one, I hope you use it because it's the best one out there. There's others out there, but you can't beat it. Let me close up this ink. Now we're going to use the Blueberry Bushel. Let me wipe this down here. Here's another advantage to using the light color before you use the dark color, especially if you're going to be using the same stamp, is that if you forget to clean it, it's not going to mess up your ink pad like it would if you went blue first and then went into the yellow. Okay, so make sure that's dry. Okay, yep, there we go. And really on this, the only part that's going to show is the top and the bottom, okay? Now on this one, I stamped again to get a little lighter version. You can do that if you want, but you know what I think? I'm going to go ahead and just do them all dark. I don't know how many I'm going to get in here, but we'll see. Oops, see, I got some there. I was not paying as close, being as careful as I had been. Initially, when I had this card in my head, I was going to use some designer series paper, but I didn't like the way it turned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one more in the middle and call it good. Again, I could have got by with just inking the two ends, but there we go. Then I'm going to cover up my ink pad. God, now all we have to do is assemble it, and we are almost done. I like this card an awful lot. Where's my ink? Okay, or my adhesive. There we go. And then this is going to go on here. And you see what I mean by having the yellow on the sides? I just think it looks better. It kind of breaks up all the blue lines, the blue that's created by this mat and the card base. So, there we go. Let's get our celebration on. So there's our card for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do make a card like this, I'd love to see what you create, and load it in the comments. I'd like to see what color combinations you come up with. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will see you next Monday night for Stampin' with Denise. Take care now, everybody. Bye-bye.